the heck? Seat. All right. Hey, Star Dragons, how are you doing? Good afternoon. What's up, Star? How you doing? Always when I think I'm ready, I'm never ready. So I'm sorry as I get ready. Doo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo. Alright, I think we are ready now. I'm going to be drawing one of the characters in my story. His name is Mjorn. Mjorn. Alright, I don't need this window anymore. I'm just closing windows, I'm sorry. So I'm drawing, I'm going to be drawing Mjorn. He is the father of my other two main characters and the brother. So he is her. That's Ifo. That's Enix, the siblings. And this is the uncle, Kelbray. Ifo, Enix, Kelbray, and we're going to be doing. We're going to be drawing the father, their dad, today. But before I do his hero portrait, I wanna sketch him a bit. I wanna loosen up and not be so tight. The way I get a little tight doing these paintings, even though they're really loose and they're enjoyable to do. Give me 1 second. So, the story's called The Ghost of Arlan. It's kind of like a medieval dark fantasy tale. More dark fantasy than medieval. Not a lot of knights in armor, that type of stuff, but there will be people in armor. So it's very loose that way. Dark fantasy, not a lot of magic. In terms of like witchcraft or wizardry, that type of stuff, but there is stuff. There's mysticism and mythical creatures and that type of stuff in the background. So these are three of the main characters. Oh, that actually looks pretty good there. They keep getting. They are getting better. This was the first one I did. Even though I drew him second and him third, I painted him second and him third. So I didn't finish her. You can see how it's a bit shiny. It's because I didn't finish painting her hair. You see how shiny that is there? Whereas with him, it's pretty much the whole piece, except for his eye, certain bits. Anyway, so Ghost of Arlan, those are my peoples. We're gonna draw Pop Dukes. Let me just get my weapons. So yeah, the Ghost of Arlan, and it's I'm trying to describe it in a way without spoiling anything, but it's basically just people dealing with the path before them, or the path that has been put in front of them to take. You know, the responsibilities and choices that people make, sometimes for the wrong reasons, sometimes for the right reasons. Sometimes a choice is made or a path is created for people that they never wanted in the first place. And the story is about just following the path. So, without spoiling anything, but this is basically the beginning of my story. Is the person that I'm drawing today, right now, Mjorn. He is the captain of the military of this village where they live. There is no king, there's no queen, there's no monarchy like that. They're kindred. So if you happen to be strong, powerful, militarily smart, that type of stuff, you end up becoming a leader there. Everybody's works together, very Ant Farm-esque. Anyway, the dude I'm drawing, Mjorn, he comes home late. He's done with warring. He's done with whatever it is they do, pillaging, warring, battle. He's battle weary. He's kind of done. His children are young. In the beginning of the story, he's about 8 or 9 years old. She's older. She's about 10 or 11. And Pop Dukes goes home. Says goodbye to being in the military, basically, right? He's trying to stay home for good now. All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna do some hero posing, some hero drawing. Let's see. And while he's trying to make peace, he gets attacked at home by a group of people that he thought he had. But they snuck up on him, basically. And he loses his wife in the process, their mom. And he sacrifices himself for the safety of the kids. He tells them to go back to the village from their homestead. Let me zoom in here for a bit. So, basically, that's it. That's the beginning. We meet him, we lose him. He gives them a charge. He tells the boy, go claim my men, so be a leader. He tells his daughter, go claim my sword, be a warrior. And they leave. The last thing they see is Pop Dukes. Mjorn here, with an arrow in his face and 2 in their mom. And they have to leave. And they're kids. So that's the last thing they see. And then boom, we time jump 10 years later. And our story is with them that old. So so the daughter is about we got mail. In the beginning of the story, she's about 10, 11, and the boy's about 8 or 9. And this is them as they get older. So the story starts. We end up following their adventure when they're this age, and for 10 years, in that time jump, they learn to be fighters, strategists. They learn battle. This is what their life is. And it kind of creates the type of characters that they are. She, being as young as she was, she's charged with protecting her brother for the rest of her life, right? That's what she feels. That's what she feels is the path that was put before her. She saw what her father did for them, so she wants to replicate that heroism for the people in her village, right? One of the things that she says is, I don't protect them because I'm fearless. I protect them because they're afraid. that type of stuff. Anyway, so the crux of it is kind of like a mystery. So for 10 years, Bob Dukes, they don't know. Their house was ransacked. Their homestead was destroyed and ruined. My cat mourns for them, and life went on. So for 10 years, they've had this nagging sensation of wanting answers. And now that they're big enough, old enough to ask those questions, they're not going to let anybody stop them from doing it. So the story is them going back home to try to figure out the mystery of what happened to their dad. Yes, he might be dead. Who knows? He's believed to be. Yeah. All this paper, and I still run out of space. I'm gonna have to erase and move him up. So, he said you need to read that. Well, I appreciate it, man. And that is just the gist of it. I can sit here and tell you the whole story. I really could. But I'm not gonna. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is, creating a visual Bible for myself. I'm creating a hero portraits. The hero portraits are these, where that's what my characters are going to look like. And I can use that not just for a visual reference, but as a way to keep them true to them. Any drawing that I do of them, I don't want to, I want to feel like if they're looking at me like, that's not how I look. Oh, you were about my cat being deaf? Yeah, she's old. She's about 16 years old. All right. I didn't like that pose, so let's do a different pose. She's about 16 years old, and she is deaf. Alright. I gotta be a bit better with my margin control. Meaning keeping my drawings and my figures in the safe zone. So let's try this again. And he's a big dude, so I'm trying to figure out. There's a part of me that wants to go just exaggerate on everything. But I need my heroes to be a bit in the not regular, but believable stage, because there's a villain, or the ghost of Arlan, he is of mythical size. He is the Hulk size. So I gotta make sure that these guys aren't so big that if I have to draw the villain or the creature that they are going up against, impossible. So what I'm doing here, sometimes if I'm too tight, if I feel like I can't really get anything going, what I'll do is I'll draw very scribbly like this. And that helps me begin to start seeing a bit of form in all of these random lines, and then I can use that as my roadmap. So what I want to do, I kind of slowed it down from an action pose to kind of like a quintessential Conan pose of him just hanging with his sword, just posing. I think that'll help me just to get a view. Give the character a little bit of weight. Just going through a bit of the anatomy here. What I did earlier, if you noticed, I was doing some quick little hatch marks. It's how I quickly measure my figures. I go by the How to Draw Comics the Marvel way. So heroes, the men are about 8 to 9 heads high, meaning if that is my unit of measure, the head, then I'll rough it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's about 8.5. That's not bad. Pretty tall dude. These poses are kind of boring. These standing straight up, straight across, or straight up, straight on. Do your thing. I appreciate you. So some big calves. Hey Link, how are you? How you doing? I'm gonna try to be loose here before I jump into redoing this for my hero portrait. But that's a big dude. I have to shrink this up. You've been very lazy? I don't think so. You're working. That's not being lazy at all. You work in oils, don't you? So that takes those your process must take a while. I'm trying to get as many ideas out of my head as possible. It's just probably the easiest way to do it. Scribble them out. But he's gonna look basically like your run-of-the-mill Conan style type barbarian, nice beard, sunken eyes, that type of stuff. So the hardest part is gonna be trying to make him look as if he is related to my characters. Ah. Yes, well, compared to other paints, it works for you. You work slow. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. I think what has been making me move so quickly is these live streams. Honestly, so finding material to put. So that is the one of the benefits, I guess, of doing these things is that I constantly looking for something to draw. The hardest part is looking for something to draw. So I hope people don't get turned off from me constantly drawing my own characters, considering people are more interested in seeing established characters. But you gotta start somewhere. You love how your original characters? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And I'm trying to avoid tropes because they're easy. You know, because they're recognizable, obviously, and you want your stuff to be recognizable and familiar. But I don't want you to know who the coward is. I don't want you to know who the the uh, the brave one is, or the one that's suffering, or you know what I'm saying. So that's the hardest part. So I have to draw them almost as if they're all heroes. I've been wanting to ink, and I'm wondering if I could just throw some ink on this a little bit. Let's see. Why not, right? Scratch the itch. Oh, Star Dragons. My book is not out. I am in what you're watching is the culmination, the building of it. But the name of the book is, or the story is going to be The Ghost of Arlon. I wonder if this will work. His forehead's too big, but may have to change that. Or move the hairline lower. Which we can do. We can do anything we want. I was able to do a bit of inking. Kind of. When I was painting earlier today. When I was doing the hair anyway. I've been and it kind of changed. I was like sleep deprived earlier today. I still feel not 100%. You'll draw me later? I appreciate that. Hey, that's my line. I'll sue. No, I'm kidding. When I make it big, if I remember the little people, are you kidding me? Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere. That's so funny because I've joked like that recently with other artists about collaborating and doing stuff, and some of them agree with the same sentiment because we're all trying to get to the same place. One thing that I've noticed about this community so far is how much support there is, emotional support and just creative support, and then we all say the same thing. You better do it now while we cheap. Do it now while you can afford me, man. But no, absolutely. Let me get all the characters in, and then you don't have to wait for me to be 100 air. doing commercials for the local cable company. That'll be hilarious. The splash page. You're so dang sleepy. Yeah, man. I don't know what the heck's going on at Casa de Mel. Just Casa de everyone, man. I don't get it. But it really does get me upset. And I try not to. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to check some stuff. But I usually when I paint in the morning or paint in early in the day, it's later in the day. If that makes sense. But I really wanted to finish that painting today. Finish enough, right? Because we're never really done. So Link says, "What? I'm assuming what's the story with this guy?" No, I haven't said so. So this guy, he's basically. Well, let me see. All right, hold on. What's your story, bro? Let me ask him. All right, so he is when we meet him early in the story, in the prologue. Prologue is before, epilogue is after. Anyway, when we meet him in the intro, he is the captain of the people of Zorn, of his village. And he is coming home for the first time in a long time. And he has just partied his last time. He just finished his last deployment, so to speak. And he's done. He's done being the captain. He's felt that it's enough. His kids are young enough and old enough that he doesn't want to miss more time, right? When he is their father. He's their father, his brother. Hey. So that night, he comes home. He had just left the village not for the last time, but as their captain. It's ceremonial. He left his shield and his sword. He's ready to go home. He's coming home. That's the whole thing. And then when he's home, he spends a couple hours with his family, the wife, the kitties, and then his homestead gets attacked from an old enemy. So in the kerfuffle, tragedy. The mother of our hero passes and gets killed. And he stays behind to give his kids enough time to escape, because there's too many. So he leaves them with a charge. He tells the boy to claim his men. Go back to the village and claim his men. Not to bring them back, to claim them, to be a leader. He knows he's done. He knows by the time they go to even try to get help, he'll be done. So there's no point. So he just wants them to survive. He tells his daughter to claim his sword, to be strong, to be a warrior. So the final scenes of that first chapter, that first prologue, I hope I'm saying that right. You can tell I'm not a writer. Is him fighting to the death so that his kids can survive. And then 10 years later, our kids are old enough to fend for themselves and big enough and strong enough that nobody's going to tell them otherwise. So for 10 years, they have become soldiers, warriors, tacticians, anything they needed to do to make themselves stronger and reliable for each other, all the while protecting the village that they live in. But they've always had this question. Because Pop Dukes was one of those dudes, one of those guys that it was like the alpha, tracker, warrior. How could they have gotten him? How can they have gotten to our home? How can they have done this? So that begins their journey. They go back home to get some closure, clues, whatever it takes to find out what really happened that night 10 years ago. In a world... No, I'm just kidding. It's funny because I'm thinking kind of like grizzled George Clooney, but I'm getting kind of like current Jack Black. Oh, man. So yeah, so that's basically it, right, for the story. How you doing, Ike? Good evening, sir. But really, the thing's about question, it's about closure, it's about paths, it's about, being something you're not, being something you're supposed to be, responsibilities driven on them. Like to me, I mean, they all seem very tragic. And I kind of wrote them that way. There's no clear thing. She's strong, she's powerful, but she's not always clear-headed. For someone like herself, who the last thing she saw was her Pop Duke sacrificing himself for her and her brother, that's what she wants to do. She wants to protect no matter what. But she loses a lot. You can't save everybody. I am yoking up this brush, but I think it's time. Hey, I'm doing okay. Fantastic. I'm glad. I hope you had a fantastic weekend also, Ike. Thank you for joining me on a Monday. Link says, my guy looks like a Viking, so does the guy. So does this guy. Oh, okay. There you go. The Hubs can do, he can do the cosplay. He'll be your model when you do the covers for the special editions. We gotta think big. Something like that. This brush really is killing me, but I'm not too mad about it. I like this pose. I might stick to this pose here. So there's going to be visual cues. Yeah. Hectic, but you got some stuff done? Damn, that's what's up. So his hair's going to be kind of smooth like his boys. Oh, they look related, I think. That's very Jim Lee-like there. Ooh, look at me pretending to be as good as Jim Lee. But you can tell I do my noses because of the way Jim Lee does noses. My inking's too rough, though. No, this is a Pentel. It should be. Pentel FR. I can't tell the number. Everything's kind of like rubbed off on it. And then, so smooth hair, and then she's gonna rock very similar fur draped over the shoulders. Tombo. Ow, man. Your boy's getting old. Everything hurts. Sitting down hurts. But my wife wants me to live forever, so we are exercising again. We started last week, and I've never been in more pain. I used to exercise all the time. Now, I only think about it all the time. Let me see if I can slow down here. I gotta work on my brush marks. You was gonna do some hands, but you're tired? I hear you, bro. Like I was telling Link, just sleep deprived, exhausted. It's not fun. Not a lot of fun going on. This thing isn't very good to try to get intricate, only because it's just kind of worn, and I put some ink in here, so maybe it's just that. Link asks, she says to Ike, I was just thinking about how fast you get a portrait. I was thinking about it because it took me all day to paint just to start a portrait. Yeah, I hate it. They've been coming out so good too, Ike. Like fantastic work, man. I think I squeezed it too much, but that's okay. I've been getting so just I don't even know. Not in these Conan books that I've been reading. The amount of art those guys were doing. Buscema and Chan and all of them. Let me see. Ike says, ink sketching a portrait can be done quite quickly, but I envy people who can paint because I tried to do a portrait in watercolor and it took forever. Also, it didn't turn out good. I never know which colors go together. Thanks for making me try to make me feel slow. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Watercolor's a trip. I'm trying to think when I was doing it what helped me. You just gotta go nuts. A lot of trial and error, man, and that's the saddest advice that I can give. All right, here. But you'll get it, man, because you're an amazing artist, man. And if I can do it, or do a little bit of it, I'm sure you can nail it. Nail it. My facial hair is weird, man. Because I'm so used to doing the shadow around the bottom of the nose. Yeah, McCraw has been getting so good at her portraiture, and she's nailing the drawings as well. I said this in a previous stream. It was just so refreshing to hear her really enjoying the process and her results, because I'm so used to self-deprecating myself, not talking about anybody else, but to hear someone really appreciate what they're going through really is cool, and seeing it is really good. Even if she was to be like, no, I don't think so, no, I think I would challenge her in the sense that her sketching and her portrait building, amazing. I hope her ears are ringing. I said you started with a pencil, started with a ballpoint pen, and then started sketching with a brush. It didn't make too much of a difference. All of it. What have I done? I've done pencil, inked it like this, erase all the pencils because then it'll get muddy, and then I've done it that way. Should I try some inking right now? I think my cat wants me to. Let's do it. Why not? Let's do this. You definitely have a lot of patience. If I was doing this, I think I would have gone straight to the ink. You're so good with the ink. I have to noodle a lot with the pencil. We gotta go with what we know, right? I'm gonna grab some water, and actually, yeah, give me one hot second, party people. I'm gonna get some water. Look at her, the deaf cat dying. Help! Help! Sorry. We're dramatizing my poor cat. All right. Yeah, I got to do, going back to that, I have to do a lot of sketchies. These give me a little bit of confidence. Where's my ink? Nothing special in here. Leaf. I don't even think it's Bombay Black anymore. It's New York Central India ink. And there is some, what else is in here? Some Japanese Sakura ink. And maybe some use your words, Mel. Isopropyl alcohol. You should name him Leaf. Alright, the idea here. Yeah, I did a thing. So you can pick up some oil paints. He says it's messy. She said, yes, it is. One thing I've always wanted to try to figure out is inking the contour. I don't know how to hold this damn thing. There's a ton of professional inkers, and for whatever reason, the hairs in the back of their head is standing on end. Kind of like when the Death Star blew up Alderaan and Obi-Wan felt it in the Millennium Falcon. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not the only one, right? Let's just go with it. We're gonna put ourselves to sleep here. I do actually have all their names, but that's all right. You're not hurting my feelings. You never know. You might maybe somebody else will get renamed. Yes. That. As I scratch, as I just go against the grain on everything on, as I try to ink this thing. What an amazing art form. And considering how it was, how people would write all the time. Oh, brother, can we change this? The nose, I love drawing noses. But yeah. Also, I think the paper I'm using is vellum, so it's a little heavy compared to the smooth version of the Bristol board. So I'm wondering if that's what the bite that I feel. But I have how to render. Yeah, when people have good penmanship. Yeah. I have that rendering, how to render with pen and ink, and the first several chapters is about the quill or the nib, or I really should start practicing. I've always wanted to. I always thought it was amazing. And there's certain inkers that you can kind of like, you can see their work and tell that it's this tool. But honestly, I just have to loosen up. Hey, Ike, I have. Where are they? The parallel pen, but I have the nib version that fits in these. Because this is all interchangeable. Got a bunch of these. I just haven't used them. You've had a busy 2 weeks? Yeah, man. You haven't drawn in a while. So you've drawn and then just saved it and uploaded your stuff? I could dig it. I still have one in the chamber, man. I have one video on the Galactus painting that I did where he's devouring. I want to see if I can. It's a good one. Oh, I already have one. They're pretty inexpensive. I bought the calligraphy ones, which is just the flat, and then a bunch of the, I guess they're all considered calligraphy, right? So very much like your parallel flat. You might dig these, man. I think I'm such a nerd, though. This stuff makes you feel like an artist, doesn't it? Let me see here. There's an artist that I saw. He was using a parallel pen like this, but he was using it to do cross hatching. thought it was so cute. It blew my mind. I was like almost upset that I didn't think of it. As if. Dipping the ink. A lot of patience. No, man. You know what the patience is in the making sure not to spill it. Ooh, I've had some scares, some sphincter tightening situations with not just the ink container, but like the water. What's cool is that I almost wish I started with this instead. It would have given me some really solid lines. And some really cool squiggles. That's the technical term, the squiggles. Making him a bit more mysterious than he should be, but yeah. And this, like I said, this paper has a little bit of tooth, even if it's just a small bit amount of tooth. It may not be the best to use nib pens. I think the smooth. I think what I heard before was that you use the vellum to draw, and then you print out a blue line copy on smooth for the inker. Oh, there's an inker. What's up, Monty? I think his name is Ryan Garza, something like that. I follow him on Instagram, and he'll have like this really aggressive way of pulling and pushing his nib pen on the paper. It'll give you like, you know what I'm talking about? But it's so good. But it's so annoying how good it is that I hate on him. That's my first natural reaction. Hate. But I love. Yeah, I'm telling you, but I know that doesn't really. I think you'll get it, man. Noise inks. Thanks, Monty. I just wanted to loosen up a bit before I redo another one of those hero pieces. So I haven't inked successfully or comfortably in a while. Ooh, I wonder if this is what Klaus uses. There's a inker. He inked for JRJR. He inked for Frank Miller, more famously in The Dark Knight Returns. Some of these lines, not that I'm calling myself Klaus Janson, who is an amazing artist in his own right. Some of his lines are like that. It is like nails on a chalkboard. It really is. Huh. And I think, yeah. He's so sure with his lines that I would be amazed if. I would love to see him work. You know who I'm talking about. He'll do a wash of color, usually red, and then he'll go in and he'll be destroying the nib pen, bending it and flicking it, and it'll be all over the place, but his it's just so good. Oh, and got a little little Fabio look. You guys remember Fabio? You remember when he got beamed in the face by a goose at an amusement park? And then he tried to sue the amusement park. He was on a roller coaster. And during the ride, beamed in the face by a freaking goose. Feels like giving like those peeps that have to always twirl their pens. Monty, though, if you can twirl your pen, I know what you're talking about. If you can twirl it before you draw, you would be doing it. You would be doing it too, because I know I would. My oldest son, learned how to do that. It took him quite some time. There are steps to do it. And he would come down with that crap. And I'm like, yo, get out of here. All right. Wow, that's right, sweetheart. Okie dokie. What do we got? About 45 minutes. All right. Yo, she's losing it. Gotta make sure I move that. I'm digging that. I don't mind it. I think that's a good I think he gives good face. I appreciate it. No worries, Link. I'll be here. I think it's time to do. Monty, I had to read that twice. I thought you was I thought you was like, I hope he gets a shard in the eye. But no, you're right. Just hearing it, the whole popping and clacking of the nib. Ooh, brother. Nah, that dude's gotta be a professional. Gotta. All of that, and I can't. All that cool knife snapping. I can't open a saran wrap. No. I heard the tear, and I thought I just tore. All right. I'm gonna put the family in front. Yeah, you know what we should bring back? The coin. You know, the coin across the knuckles? That. Maybe we should bring that back. We'll bring that back. $5 years ago. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that was. I gotta ask my son now. When was the last time he twirled a pen? And if he says 5 years ago, I would lose it. All right. We need the brother because he's a douche. No, he isn't. He just wants to help his people. If he comes down here, I'm gonna ask him. All right. Let's see. Sorry guys, for the socials, I gotta open up my phone. So what I've been doing with these, it's just to help me with my compositioning. I draw a line dead center. Oh, I'm with it. But it's really there for compositional purposes. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. All right. I like that face. All right. Sorry for the scratch, unless that's what you're into. I appreciate that. Help Hub, and let him know that I'm withdrawing his portrait. And I appreciate that. Thank you for hanging out and watching me put my little world together. Yeah. Well, the thing that I'm doing now, the challenge now for me is keeping it in tone with the other pieces. Like this is really that's extremely comic book, Western comic book appearance. Even these pieces are very Western, but I have to try to paint it. I'm gonna try to paint it where it could look a little bit more realistic. I honestly I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's not gonna come out the same, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, you nailed it. Can you guys see that? Hey, let me I'll zoom in a bit. He might be the last person I put a mustache on though. Does that look weird? I'm looking at it on my view screen in front of you. They're like, what you guys see? And it looks weird to me. What's up, Map? Hey, I'm gonna flash my hey my email. Or if you have a something to write with. So I can send you that piece. Or you can if you jump onto the horizontal stream, I'll put it up there. Oh, Montoya, man, I appreciate that, dude. I've looked at so much comic book art. I should be able to at least crib a little bit of it. But that's definitely super influence. My super duper influence growing up was Jim Lee. Now who wasn't, right? His X-Men, which is where I found his X-Men #1. Like I didn't see the stuff before till after the fact. His Punisher is great. Like it was just something about it. Like everybody else had a stylized look, and I just felt like, to me, he drew them the way they were supposed to look. Does that make sense? I mean, that's just my opinion, though, but mine and a billion other people. You can probably learn more studying his style. Because honestly, he really does have great sense of form. One, because he was going to be a doctor. He was studying to be a doctor before he took a break from medical school. Allegedly. But he just can't clean his eraser guts, for Pete's sake. This is a hard lead, which is why it's scratching so much. But I'm gonna switch to a softer 4B maybe or 2B pencil momentarily to get all this other detail. That eye is too far away. It used to be about right here. Hopefully I can change it with the eraser. I've basically drawn this guy before. And sure, you guys have seen it. Where is my sketchbook? Where is my sketchbook? Well, the style is very, very similar. So it's gonna be kind of like a tighter version of that, or looser version of that. This was supposed to be my King Conan, but I just don't want him to look like that. Yeah, man. So I had this thing where I compared them, all of those guys, to certain like movie directors, right? And Jim Lee to me feels like and felt like Spielberg. You knew what you was getting into. And I think I am. I'm not too sure, but you know what? It's all good, brother. Here, I'll show. It's in my follow me here. My Insta. If you want, just jump on Insta real quick. Send me a link or a how do you do. 6B. That's too much. HB 2B. Yeah, and I liked what I felt with McFarlane when he did Spider-Man. it felt like you was in the sky with him. The way these movies, I just heard my lead break. The way these movies emulate the web swinging, McFarlane, I feel, did it first in the way he drew it. That makes sense? Like the first shot, one of the most iconic shots, right, is of... that book is too damn big, but I would have grabbed it. Is Spider-Man in between the crowd. Christmas, I think it's Christmas. Alright, let's build this bad boy. And if we had to, he would be like James Cameron. McFarlane would be. Right? James Cameron put us in the water, man. He put us in the abyss. He put us in the Titanic. That's kind of like what McFarlane does. And Liefeld is like Michael Bay. It's just mindless explosions. What kind of canvas? Like these artboards here? This is actually it's just this here. Canvas panels. Have a good night. Ike, I appreciate you, man. Rest up. I appreciate you. 6-piece. It costs like $5. And the canvas is it's regular pre-primed. Mep, you sent me a message on Insta. Fantastic. I'll respond to that and let you know that we are who we are, and then I'll send you that file. But yeah, this is just regular pre-primed. I think these are from Michael's. It could be from Walmart. 100% probably from Walmart. Definitely maybe from Walmart. I usually get all my stuff from there. Baymageddon, yeah. That to me is Liefeld. So it has a place. Liefeld has a place in the whole thing. It's just that unfortunately he has not evolved. Right? Kind of like Michael Bay. Michael came in gangbusters with Bad Boys and has never changed. Every once in a while he'll do something that's completely wow, but then he'll friggin' milk that teat to dry. Sorry for the visual. I don't know why I did it to myself. I had so much trouble trying to do Calbray's beard. I'm over here doing a full Monty. Hey. One of the things I've been trying to do is draw like I paint, or paint so that you can see, oh, that is the same freaking dude. And I'm kind of getting that. I think it depends on the style. Like, I did too much blending and smoothing, which I like. I appreciate it. He is supposed to be a Ute, as opposed to this dude who's grizzled. But I can almost not remember my pencils for this drawing. But we gonna blend this dude too. Yeah, I can't wait. That's harsh. That's harsh. Because you wouldn't go back to see a U-Bowl movie. Maybe you would. We kind of like nuts for it. He said U-Bowl. U-Bowl will fight you. Didn't he fight like he fought somebody. He fought a critic of his movie, whipped his ass. Some kid called his movies trash, and he challenged him to a fight, and they fought. He kicked his ass. Oh man. What has he done? What has he done? He did Far Cry, right? Oh, that movie sucks. He did. Did he do? Dead or Alive? Did he do House of the Dead? Am I naming all his movies? Am I right? I don't know who U-Bowl is. Mm-hmm. He said you. That's messed up. That's funny though. You messed me up, brother. Where we at? You know, current Liefeld? Heck yeah, that dude is U-Bowl. DW. How you doing? Oh, you nailed it, DW. Blood Rain. Oh, How do you make Christina Loken unlikable? I mean, I get it. She's not like an Academy Award winning Christina Loken. I get it. But brother. Michael Madsen is in that. Is Ben Kingsley in that? Or was that Patrick Stewart? Or neither? DW, yes. I'm sorry if I didn't answer you, but yes. Do I play a lot of D&D map? I do not play D&D at all. I am aware of D&D. I do not play D&D. The extent of my knowledge of D&D is very little, and it mostly the 1980s cartoon, which may or may not be. All right. Boy, it's 38 credits. Ooh. I'm pretty sure it's because somebody's watching those movies. Clearly, it's you and I. He's filming those movies for us, kid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this as much as possible. And then I will spray it. Excuse me. With fixative. And then on Wednesday for the workshop, for our workshop episodes, I'll see about, we'll do the gesso, we'll go through the whole steps. I don't mind showing you guys all the steps in case you guys get the hankering. I want to do some. I'm gonna tell you a whole cast of A and B listers again. How? Drug money, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Who knows, man? Who knows? I did a piece. I have to. Where is it? Give me 1 second. This is one of my earlier gouache paintings, and I feel like redoing it with these characters, with my characters instead, which once you see what I'm going to show you, you're going to be like, well, that can fit, so it's not so much of a stretch. Where are you? This one here. This was something that I did when I was trying to learn how to do some blending. And the only thing that came out good in this piece is the blending of his face. But this was something that I had titled Conan the Protector. Love that face. So I'm thinking of redoing it, fixing the anatomy. Love that hand though. We shall see. But yeah, I had it. It's been in my head. All right, so that's 2B. I want to go darker. The hair is going to be darker. But we can start to see. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to create some tonal changes Give him some 3D. Very much, whoops, how I would do, whoops, a portrait. Which we gotta do. If you guys are interested, again, you just let me know. And in one of these workshops, instead of watching me draw my own characters, we can go ahead and do some not live models, but real people. We definitely got to get a little darker here. Because it's too cartoonish. I didn't want to use this, but I'm gonna have to use this. We need to go darker. We need more cowbell. What's this? 4B. One thing I have to accept is that I can never get completely as dark as humanly possible with these graphite pencils. It's just the nature of it and the nature of these artboards. This artboard, all it's really doing as I draw is dull the pencil more than anything because of the texture. So it doesn't really stick. No matter how much I dig into, but I just want enough in terms of values so that when I spray it with fixative, it'll stay behind enough and it'll look good. Very almost Disney-esque, is that right? As if the beast turned, caramba, reverted back to a prince. The trick with this one is seeing how, if I can make it realistic like I did his son here. And maybe I shouldn't even think about that, just do. Don't even worry about it. What are you guys saying? Looks like good. Oh, looks so good. Thank you. I'm just chugging along. Fantastic. DW says, did you do that brush pen portrait today? This one. Yes. I did it earlier during this stream. And I started with some blue pen. I wanted to loosen up a little bit. To get him out of my head and into my car. Anybody? Any Billy Ocean fans? You guys ready to get mine wigged and ruined? Sam Elliott. Chiseling away on this pencil. think we can stop being nice with the thing. Do. It's going positives, negatives, all the jazz flute. We love drawing from the same photo together. That sounds fun. Yeah, I think it would be. Then the hardest thing would be finding the right photo. But yeah, I think it would be kind of cool. Cool little exercise. A live fire exercise. I'm honestly just trying to get darker tones in here, because I'll just use my kneaded eraser. He's gonna have a scar here and here. Why not? There's a great moment when he gets home where his wife is caressing his face and she's just looking at all the new scars on him. She's like, you're late, man. He's like, I know. I took the long way home. Let's do some sculpting. Oh, little Sean Connery. Oh, when they grab him from prison in The Rock. I need a bath and a haircut. This right here, there's this little bit of anatomy that is just like the bee's knees, and it's right here. This little crook right there. That little bit does so much heavy lifting for making your portraits or your paintings or your faces look uncanny. That little bit right there that bites into the light. So this is also a cool thing about drawing on artboard. You can never get a real smooth erasure because of the grooves, and it's okay for something like this. For a portrait like this, or even if you're trying to do realistic portraits, it doesn't allow you to get anything really smooth because the skin is not necessarily all that smooth. And even if you was to use a kneaded eraser, if you use a kneaded eraser, just give it a little dab, do a little dab like the young kids do. And because it won't erase smoothly, it'll leave certain dents and divots. It'll make people believe that you was in here shading and moving stuff around like nobody's business. But we'll know the truth. So take that to the bank with y'all. Make some money with it. Also look like the guy. Yeah, what? Oh, I don't know the actor's name. I know exactly who you're talking about. Also, I've never seen the Shogun series, but I know exactly who you're referring to. He has a distinctive mug. Was he in soap operas besides that Shogun series? Good eye, man. Good eye, Monty. DW says, dang, did not realize that was there. Usually put that all in shadow. That helps. Yeah, dude, that little crook. That right there. Men and women. So you don't have to discriminate. Put it on both of them. No, when I'm erasing, I'm following certain rhythms of the face. I wish I could do this without yoking it up. So the rhythms of the face go from this little crease that I put on my sketch here, and it curves down the side of the nose and around the cheek or the cheekbone. And it kind of like sinks into where the cheeks are, where you can kind of like suck in your cheeks, and then around. And it's like that on both sides. And I do that a lot. There's one here. There's a rhythm here, circular rhythm. There's one here that looks like a domino mask. And if you keep those rhythms in mind while you're shading, even when you're drawing. Yes. Richard? Is it Richard? Dick, as we call him. I think it is. Nose here. The nose is actually bulbous too, like a heart. The mouth is like a barrel, if I'm right. But you can do that. I mean, that is kind of like the Riley method. And if you're have a little bit of 3D modeling, that's what that is. And you can. So when I'm erasing, as I'm looking at the face to try to make it look realistic, those are the things that I am trying to follow. I gotta move his nose line. And this little bit of the cheek, on the shadow side of the face, protrudes out a little bit. You want to keep it in line with the one on the opposite side, just a little bit, just to give it some of that theater lighting. And again, with the kneaded eraser, I'm just dabbing, little dab. And if I take too much out, I'll just re-smooge. I won't have to add any new pencil shavings. And now I'm kind of trying to follow the contour of the nose and that rhythm that we was talking about. You gotta let the rhythm play. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Does the acero head represent the planes of the head with muscles and such, or only the skull? The acero head. The acero head is the... Isn't it? It's not this one per se. It's more square, right? So it's the planes of the face, if I'm right. I use these more often. Even though I don't use all of the details where the muscles are. You don't really need it. I like it for the shadows. But yeah, I think it's just the planes of the face. You know what I've noticed that I've done because I'm a weirdo? If I have music like this that has a certain rhythm to it, work on the downbeat. If I had headphones on, if I wasn't talking to anybody. All right. Start bringing that beard of his to life. Yeah, you got a bop, right? You got to make some of this stuff stand out, even if it's not realistic, because he's gonna be like in this shadowy mane of hair. I don't know if I'm gonna do much of the background the way I did his kids. Story beat, it just wouldn't make sense. All right, here we go. We're gonna... I'm ruining my erasers, but that's okay. That's what they're for. And I can get Old Faithful out here. Because I did a lot of the drawing on the painting scribbles. You see those scribble lines? They subliminally dictate, hey sweetheart, where I'm gonna do my highlights. Everything's dirty. Dirty. TV Girl Calm says, hello back. How are you? Sorry for the... Who mentioned? It wasn't a dentist chair, barbershop. The barbershop drill. You do arts also? That's fantastic. Welcome. What kind of art do you do? Yeah, a bit different, right? Not that much. That's kind of a, that's weirdly, huh. The angle's a bit higher, the eyes are a bit higher. Not as sharp. Oh, TV, I wouldn't say that. We all have our own thing. We don't all have to have the same skill level or art style. Not at the table. That would be something that I would be afraid to do as a painter. Paint something in my style that completely ends up changing somebody's vision. I would hate that. Would be just like, all right, this is gonna make or break this nose because I don't want it to look pointed down. I'm drawing at a weird angle, so I need to straighten his nose out. That didn't erase anything. It's so dirty here. Do you have pages that have what the characters look like, different angles and expressions, notes of their features? I do not. These are what those would be. Like character sheets, you mean? I do not. This is all being born right in front of you, bud. I have an idea. I think of what I want them to look like. And that's it. This is me putting those ideas into reality. But no, I think that'll come a little different later. I think when I start, because I think the graphic look of them will be different than the painted look. Obviously, you can already tell the difference of what they would end up looking like just from this right here. TV Girl says, I draw OC characters, mostly cartoons. Yep, that's cool. I'm gonna have to draw that. But no, I don't have any character sheets or stuff like that. I'm winging it, bud. It's too much. A bit right here. Who inspired me? I think who inspired me to draw? If it was an artist, it would probably have been Jim Lee. He's the one I studied the most of, or looked at the most growing up. Well, I was maybe, 13 years old? That looks too sharp. But the one person who always made me want to be creative, even if it wasn't as a painter, Bob Ross. There was a piece about that old dude that just transcended, to me, any type of art. And it doesn't matter what you're drawing, what you're doing, you could always hear him going, There's no mistakes, just happy accidents. And he was always encouraging no matter what. And I think that's awesome. Happy little trees, man. Draw an eyebrow. That eyebrow looks a little lonely. Let's give it another eyebrow. Let's give it a friend, shall we? Alright, this is gonna be... What time is it? It's 2 hours in. Party peoples, I am gonna let the music play me out. Yeah, he was fun. He was fantastic. I think we got what we needed. I think. I'm gonna work a little bit on the bottom on his outfit, but not too much. I'm gonna leave it as he would have had a third eyebrow. Yeah, let's just put another one right here. But I don't know. That's an interesting question because I never really had anyone push me that way. The only person, and I've said this story before, and it was my cousin Robert, who he had comics and he was a pretty good artist himself. He can copy like nobody's business. Like he can copy almost one for one, looking at something, never tracing, but looking at something and drawing it. And being his little cousin, can you draw that for me? Can you do that for me? Can you draw that for me? And he said, probably the most important thing ever to someone who was into the art or was maybe burgeoning into it. Do it yourself. Draw it yourself. And I remember not feeling like, oh man, he sucks. You suck. But I said more like, you think I could do it? And he was like, yeah. I'm sure he, so the funny thing about that story is that as an adult, I know he was just saying that so I can leave his ass alone. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. But that's all I needed. That's all I needed. That's what little Mel needed. You think I could do it? Yep. How? Trace it. Trace it, copy it. Do whatever you need to. And that's how it started. I used to trace Sunday morning, like the comic strips. Peanuts and those things, those like Charlie Brown, those Peanuts. So, but like inspired, that's one thing. There was never anybody that I felt like I want to do it like them. I did a lot of, right? I mentioned earlier Jim Lee. I knew I was never going to draw like that guy. So I never felt like inspired to the point that I wanted to draw like him, be like him. Maybe we covet, right? Oh, I wish I did it like that. I know that, with Leyendecker and even some Rockwell. This way, DW, in a previous video or stream, you asked me about a portrait, favorite portrait artist, and I don't have one. Because I think my things were more like, how the hell did they do that? Not, I want to do it like that. Maybe I should have. Maybe I was asking all the wrong questions. Is that too much? But I think we're kicking it. I think we're doing all right. I find comic very difficult to work with. Many people have struggled with doing comics, so seeing your cousin do well in art and comic is amazing. Oh, he didn't. he was just able to trace. He never pursued it after, just as a hobby. So I appreciate that. And our comic book is difficult, man. I've been looking at, because it is really art. The stuff that I've been looking at, the work amount that those people do in those 60s and 70s and beyond, the pulp artists, the pulp covers, I don't think they really do get the credit they deserve. I know we have him singing Jim Lee's and Liefeld and McFarlane, but we should never forget about Toth and Kirby and Buscema and John Romita Sr. and Steve Ditko and Gene Colan. Thank you, bruh. You know, and Alfredo Alcala and all of them cats, man. All of those cool cats, man. You know, once saying that, as I say that, my cousin's story. He once, but then he said something that just turned me sideways. He was like, "Oh yeah, I taught him everything he knows," and that's one thing I would never do. Take somebody, stand in the way of their shine. Love you, cuz. But no. You didn't teach me by telling me to do it myself. You gave me the window to believe in myself to do it. That's different. Drew. R.I.P. Drew. He did pass away. Yes. R.I.P. Drew. It's a handsome gent. It's more cartoonish though. I feel like there's something going on here that I'm not feeling or not seeing. Looks like Diesel Jesus is what it looks like. Repent or else. More volume? I gotta cut off soon. I gotta go cook some dinner. We can't sustain with artwork alone. Yeah, right? I think he did. I think he did. Recent. Maybe this year? His work is so amazing. It's so amazing. And just like nobody can take that shine from him. That's definitely his style. And he traced. No, I'm just kidding. He did he would project his art. And then he would trace it. No, I'm just kidding. You hear that, folks? You can trace. It's okay to trace. The best do it. And there's some that probably should do it more often. I think that shine is gonna have to come after. But it looks good. But yeah, you know what, party peoples? On that note, I'm just gonna finish up. I'm gonna let the music play me out. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today on this Monday. I can't believe it's Monday. I will see you guys on Wednesday. And maybe I gotta get a hold. I may be on Peter Palmiotti's stream tomorrow. If he still has his art stream with some buds, I may be on it. Maybe. So if you're not subscribed to him, I say do it anyway. He's an amazing comic book inker, professional, and you can't go wrong, man, to have more art in your life. So do that. And I will see you guys. Yeah, a few months ago. Well, when? Tomorrow. I think around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. But if he confirms with me before then I will. I'll put it on my I'll post it. He's a good dude. I was able to meet his brother at the Jacksonville Comic Con, the IndieCon, last month. And TV Girl says, what's one artwork you're really proud of? Here, this one right here. I drew his son. You know what's so funny? DW, I said that it looked like my youngest son. I showed my oldest and he was like, who's that, me? And I thought that was kind of funny. Peter Palmioti. So yeah, TV Girl, this one right here. And this one right here. And this one right here are right now. I got stuck to the ink. This one right there. Let me get all this crap out of the way. Not because they're the best looking or the most refined, the tightest, the most vibrant, but because these are my characters and I'm beginning to fall in love with them. Does that look like me? Oh heck no. If it did, I am projecting, bud. I look more like this guy. No. I can't grow that sweet beard. I don't have hair like that. No. I do not. I project. But yeah. But thank you guys. I will post as what I can. And I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to just kind of tidy up here. But pretty much that is it. You already know. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. Oh no. You want to see a really bad mind wig? It looks kind of like Tiger Woods. Oh no. I see you guys on Wednesday. Until next time. I will draw you later. Bye.